Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be sharing some tips on how to save money on your electricity bill. I'm going to start off with some super simple tips that you can apply in your life today, and then move on to some more complex ones that you might need a little bit of an initial investment of either time or money. My first tip is to unplug things when you're done using them. So even if something is turned off, it is still using a tiny bit of electricity just by being plugged in. So this is sometimes called like vampire energy, vampire power, because like a vampire, it's just like sucking the energy without you like having control over it. Even though it's a really small amount of energy that it's using, over time that does add up, especially if you're leaving something plugged in 24/7. And if it has some sort of indicator light on it, like displaying the time or just displaying that it is plugged in or charging. Now obviously this isn't feasible to do for everything. There will be some things in your home that do need to be plugged in 24/7, or things that are just incredibly inconvenient to plug and unplug, just due to the inconvenient location of the outlet. So, I would say just focus on the things that you can easily do this with. Every little bit counts. My next tip is to only turn on the lights when you actually need them. Now, I feel like this sounds super obvious. I feel like for a lot of us growing up, it was just kind of ingrained into us. But I think that, it's easy to forget or not notice sometimes. You're just in the habit of it. Sometimes it's a really cloudy morning, you turn the lights on, and then an hour later the sun comes out, but you don't notice, you don't think, oh, I can turn the lights off now, I don't actually need them anymore. I will say proceed with caution on this one, because you don't want to be bumping into things in the dark. You want to make sure that you know exactly where you're going, how everything's laid out in your house. There's not going to be, miscellaneous things on the floor that you're going to trip over or step on. Because I did very nearly break my toe tripping in the bathroom in the dark, so be careful guys. My next tip is to keep your blinds closed on sunny summer days. So when there is a ton of sun pouring into your house, it will obviously heat up the house a little bit faster than if the blinds were closed. So I would make sure that if it is really hot and sunny outside, you keep your blinds closed, and this will keep your cooling costs down. My next tip is to set your thermostat to a slightly unreasonable number. So we actually keep our house at 82, 83 in the summer, and that might sound absolutely insane, but it is about 100 degrees for the middle of summer here, if not even higher. So it's not as unreasonable as it sounds, but it is still, it's pretty toasty in here, I would say. On the flip side, in winter, we set it to be a little bit cooler and just stay cozy with blankets and sweatshirts. What I would recommend doing is just raising or lowering your thermostat by a degree or two, just to see how it feels. Obviously, if you live with other people or you have pets, this might not work out for you because you don't want to make other people uncomfortable. And it can also be a bit of a safety thing if you've got like pets or really young kids. So, definitely be cautious of that. But I think people just kind of have this number in their head that, oh, this is what I like to keep my house at. And even just changing it a couple degrees can make a difference in the end. My next tip is to air dry some of your clothes. So I just bought a really simple little rack off of Amazon. I think it was like 20 bucks, and I can fit maybe like 12, 15 shirts on it. So I think that it's a bit of a time investment, because once you get your clothes out of the washing machine, you have to kind of sort through, see what you want to air dry, what you don't, and then go through and hang everything up on your rack. This will allow you to use your dryer less, whether that's just a smaller load that needs a shorter amount of time, or just bypassing the dryer for some loads of washing. As a bonus here, this can also keep your clothes in better condition for longer, which will save you money on buying clothes. My next tip is to look into how electricity peak hours can affect the prices. So some electric companies actually have peak hour plans where the price of your electricity will be higher during certain times of day. I'm not sure if all electricity companies are like that, so you might have to just kind of like look at the bill or like look online. But if your electricity company does do this, they'll give you a specific time frame, so it could be like 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. or 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. And during that time, there will be like peak pricing. So the cost per kilowatt hour electricity that you're using will be charged at a higher rate. So using, 100 kilowatt hours during that time would be more expensive than using 100 during the non-peak time. So that's something that you can look into. It might not apply to everyone, but I think if you can organize your day in a way that you are really not using a lot of electricity during the peak time, that can end up saving you some money. So try to do all of your cooking and laundry and, run your dishwasher, different, high energy usage, things like that during those non-peak times. My next tip is to make sure your home is well insulated. If it's not, then you can be spending a lot more than you really need to on your heating and cooling costs. So check around your windows and your exterior doors to make sure there's no draft that you can feel. Now this can be a lot more of a project if we're talking about insulation that's like in your attic or in your drywalls. But if it's just something like caulking or even just buying like a little door snake that can block the draft at the bottom of your front door, you can put plastic sheeting over your windows in the winter when you're not going to be opening them. There's definitely a lot of little things that you can do. And my last tip is to invest in energy efficient things whenever possible. So this is something that can definitely be a bit of an initial investment, but will 100% save you money in the long run. If you have really inefficient appliances, especially if they're big appliances like your fridge or your HVAC or your dryer, things that you are using constantly, and if they're not energy efficient, it can be wasting a ton of your money. Now, I'm not saying you should run out and buy all new appliances. This is more something to keep in mind for when you are wanting to upgrade or replace your existing ones. Outside of appliances, there are other things that you can buy that are energy efficient, like your windows or even like energy efficient curtains that are made to be, kind of a layer of insulation. All right, those are all the tips I have for you today. I hope that you found at least one of these tips helpful. And if you have any tips of your own, make sure to leave them in the comments down below. I hope you liked this video. Make sure you like it if you did. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.